when you draw, there is going to be a time where you might put down some measurements at a slight inaccuracy. So here you can tell that my face is a little too short. So my way of double checking this is just going back and using that scaling technique that I originally mentioned. I'm comparing how long the face is away from the main circle within the baby's head. As you can see, my face needs to be thickened here and it needs to be lengthened. So, before you move forward to finish your pieces, always make sure that you're double checking your measurements to ensure that you're drawing things accurately. You want to do this before you even decide to start shading. In fact, it's probably wise to try to do this or check in with your measurements halfway at the beginning, halfway, and at the end of your drawing before you start finishing your piece. Super, super important. Now, as you can see, after you make your adjustments, you are going to actually have to adjust other things around the body as well. See how I adjusted the eyes position, how I adjusted the length and the thickness of the forehead, along with the muzzle of my baby giraffe. So, when you are adjusting and when you are making accurate measurement corrections, you're going to want to make sure that you do this in a unified manner. This will ensure that your drawing is a cohesive whole. All right, moving forward. From the eye to the ear, how many baby heads do you need? 1. This is where your edge of your ear starts. How many baby heads wide is this ear? Half of a baby head. Okay. How tall is this ear? How many baby heads tall? 1, 2 baby heads. 1, 2. And it's just a matter of connecting the dots now. These are just general measurements. We're going to bring this down just a little bit, because see, it cuts into the head a little bit. And then right next to it is ear number 2. Let's see, how many baby heads? It's 1/2 baby head from the edge of this ear. So, and how many tall? It's about 1 baby head tall. About. And these are kind of teardroppy shapes-ish. Use your best judgment. If you need to break it down, you can do an oval and that triangle. Again, remember? Oval and triangle. If you need to break it down. Alright, give me a thumbs up if you're ready for the horns and the neck. Beauteous. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of a dip here. So you're almost going to turn this into kind of like a hooked edge or a J, like a J tail. And this horn is 1/3 of a baby head. So and then a bunch of zigzags, kind of like a zigzaggy, mohawky kind of do on the top of it. That's where your isosceles, the hair, is going to be. And we'll shade that in a little bit better so it's easier. And this looks about like the same width as the other one, so just use your horn to kind of tell you how wide the other one is. And I would even lift this up and around. Alright, you got your mama and you got your baby. Your light tan area is going to be at least one layer of pencil shading or pen, whatever you choose to do your artwork in, and you're literally going to hold your pen or your pencil like this to allow for light pressure, and you can go back and forth with some white between your lines if you choose to do so. But I want you to go light for your first layer. Let some of that white peep through. It's going to help establish your lightest shade. You don't want your face to be stark white. You want some of that pencil to be on there because your face isn't 100% white. There's a little bit of yellow in there. So, layer 1, loosey-goosey, a little bit of space between your lines. Layer 2, I want you to reserve for your brown, light brown spots. You see how the cheek is a lot lighter than the top spots on your mama's head? The cheek is a lot lighter because it looks like the light source is coming from here. So, you're going to want this light brown area just to have 2 layers. In order to find those areas, gently sketch in your spots first, and then add layer number 2 in the opposite direction. Keep it loosey-goosey still. The fact that you are applying something in the opposite direction with the same pressure will allow you to gradually build this area so it looks like your light tan brown. Now your dark brown or the edges of your spots, they kind of have like a little bit of a border. If you want that, then layer number 3 is going to serve as those dark brown areas. See how that's starting to pop out? So tan is 1 layer, light brown is 2, dark brown is 3. Still loosey-goosey. Now black, you are going to want to hold your pencil like you would writing a paper or an essay, and with black you can just increase your pressure to ensure that you get a darkest dark here. And that's all there is to it. You're literally just adding layers like a paint by numbers. And if you have any questions, just let me know. That's what I'm here for. Your spots don't have to look exactly like mine. They can be different. But I am going to draw, gently sketching my spots. I'm not carving into the paper here. I'm trying to go super light. I want my shadow, the border and edges of my shading to speak for me. I don't want the pressure of my pencil to be doing all the talking. Because if you do that, your shapes are not going to meld seamlessly together and your artwork is not going to look realistic. Now, if you're going for a cartoon effect, by all means, do it. Cartoons have a tendency to have borders. But if you're going for something a little more realistic, you're going to want to fine tune and gently feather in these shapes. This is the most relaxing part. Like I said, the drawing part is the hardest. We spend most of our time doing the drawing part because the shading part, if you have this secret formula that I have established for my students, you're able to easily do all of it outside of class. Makes class super affordable too. I've seen some of what the other teachers charge and it's like, whoa. I don't know about you, but in this day and age when X costs like $4, I'd rather just give you the basics, and if you need my help, you can contact me on the platform. So you see how it's gradually building? I kind of want this outline, so I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to add my third layer. You don't want the outline of your spots to be too dark too quickly. You kind of just want it to mix together. It's kind of like baking a cake. If you make your lines too dark too quickly, then it's kind of like having chunks in your cake batter. You don't want that. It's really gross. I'm a terrible baker. That's why I use that analogy. Where I quickly just scratch something together and hope for the best. My husband's great at baking. I'm not allowed in the kitchen when he bakes. He kicks me out. I burn everything. I absolutely love his cookies too. He makes some bomb chocolate chip cookies. He's only allowed to make them around Christmas time because if not, I'm always eating them. Normally, I'd encourage you to just sketch in all of your spots before you start shading, but I really wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like as it comes together. So that's why I only did this area.